Hello, everyone, and good morning. My name is Elena Riley, and thank you very much for joining me this morning on First Alert 6, streaming here at the Alert Center. And today I have our top headlines to go over to get you started with your day. So let's get into these headlines then. Start off with some breaking news that we had this morning on our newscasts and here online as well. Is that one person is injured after a cutting in Omaha. This happened early this morning, shortly after midnight. And Omaha police officers responded to this cutting near 31st and Gold Streets. We spoke with police dispatch. They tell us the cutting victim was taken to the hospital for their injuries. Up next, one person is dead after a pursuit and a shooting in Council Bluffs. This happened yesterday, is what authorities tell us. Investigators told us as well that during a traffic stop, the suspect pulled a shotgun on an Iowa State trooper before fleeing in this car. And a pursuit began around 6 p.m. It ended near the Pottawatomie County Jail at about 6:30 p.m., so lasted about 30 minutes there. And the armed individual is dead, is what investigators tell us, and no officers were injured in this incident. A spokesperson with the Division of Criminal Investigation for the Iowa Department of Public Safety said that they can confirm the DCI has been called in to investigate an officer-involved shooting there in Council Bluffs. So that is what they are calling it this morning. My next headline is that the man who pleaded no contest to a conspiracy charge in a decades-old murder case of a Nebraska teen was sentenced in court yesterday. This is Joseph Ambrose. He is 78 years old. He was sentenced to a maximum of 2 years for the charge related to the murder of 17-year-old Mary Kay Hesse. She was stabbed to death in 1969. Due to Nebraska's good time law, he will serve half of that and be out of prison before Thanksgiving. And on July 31st, Ambrose was granted a plea deal to plead no contest to a lesser charge of conspiracy to commit first-degree murder. He was initially charged with first-degree murder when he was arrested last November in Oklahoma. Mary Kay's family told the court yesterday that the case should have gone to trial. Other family members told the court the plea deal is an insult and that Ambrose should have faced a jury of his peers. Moving along, 13 state senators are calling on the Nebraska legislature's Judiciary Committee for answers on the plan to turn a minimum security prison into a regional ICE detention center there in McCook. This was a letter sent yesterday. The senators say the governor's decision to use the work ethic camp in McCook in the effort raises serious policy, legal, fiscal, and practical questions. And last week, the governor's office announced an agreement had been made with the U.S. Department of Homeland Security to repurpose the existing facility to house immigration and customs enforcement detainees. So First Alert 6, we spoke with State Senator Megan Hunt of Omaha. She says the plan violates Nebraska's constitution, and she claims that Governor Jim Pillen has no authority to work with ICE or take over this facility. Yesterday's letter also flags Pillen's lack of communication with any state senator, but especially the Judiciary Committee, which the senator said has some jurisdiction over the Nebraska Department of Correctional Services there. Up next, starting next Wednesday, fines for speeding in Nebraska will be increasing under a new state law. So under this law, LB 530, driving double past the posted speed limit will be considered reckless driving now. And drivers who go 1 to 5 miles per hour over the limit on Nebraska roads will face a $50 fine, plus some court costs. And speeding 6 to 10 miles per hour will be a $75 fine. And if you speed beyond that, you could face up to a $400 fine. Senator Kathleen Kauth said we kind of looked at all the increases and said we're just going to boost everything up by double to triple. She says again to try to make sure that if you're making the choice to speed and if you get caught, it's going to be a pinch. And the Nebraska State Patrol is also urging drivers to slow down. The agency shared on social media at least 55 drivers have been pulled over in the past 2 weeks for speeding over 100 miles per hour. Wow. Right, my last headline this morning. I know we're all really excited about this around here. Here, the Huskers, of course. Nebraska football will begin its season tonight, actually, at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. There's some pumped up Husker fans. Oh my goodness. So the Cornhuskers will take on the Cincinnati Bearcats in the Kansas City Classic at 8 p.m. tonight in one of the first games of the 2025 college football season. Here we see them arriving in Kansas City. We have some video of that. Awesome. So for coverage, First Alert 6, we are in Kansas City right now, our sports team, and we will be live all afternoon as well as evening. We're going to have some live updates for you as well on a web story. We're going to be leading up to kickoff. We're going to have a lot for you there. And to watch the game, you can go to SPN or you can pardon me. To watch the game, you can go on ESPN or you can listen on the Huskers radio network. So Coach Rule shared that he expects over 60,000 Husker fans will be going down to Kansas City for the game, and Nebraska is expecting the sea of red for this game. So good news there. Fans going are advised to plan ahead for parking as well as some traffic delays. We have more of that on our website for information on that. So if you're going to the game, good for you. Awesome. Should be a lot of fun. Alrighty, that is all the headlines I have for you this morning. I bring you the streaming around 8 a.m. every morning, as well as our web story here. These headlines come from at about 6 a.m. So I really appreciate you starting your day with me, and tune into us, our newscasts, and here online as well for more updates on these stories we've been talking about this morning. So everybody have a good start to your Thursday.